Hey everybody, Carlos here. I just wanted to take a moment to apologize for the audio quality of this episode. I feel it does not rise to my standard that I like to think that I am able to produce. We had a lot of mic issues. We had my internet dropping out while in the middle of capturing the interview and things like that. And it was no one wants to do the same interview twice. So I'm just trying to work around it. But yeah, I just want to make sure that it's at least acknowledged that I recognize that this is not the best quality that I could be putting forward. And so I guess I'm asking that everyone bears with it, and thanks so much for everyone who's already listened to the show before and is continuing to listen to it. But yeah, thank you, and on with the show.
I don't want to kill myself, but damn, I want to die. I guess I'll have a drink and smoke some weed and probably eat a sandwich.
Hello and welcome to Don't Bring Your Dog, a bi-weekly music podcast. My name is Carlos Lopez. With me is my best friend Taylor Fish.
And we are interviewing Cooper from Dollar Panel today. Very stoked on it.
Yes, previous member, current member of Scully, and now solo artist known as Dollar Panel. But moving on, we got a kind of short and sweet episode today.
Yeah,
not a lot happening with us in the last couple of weeks. I've been mostly just hanging out and catching up with people, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah, just been doing a lot of hanging out with friends. I think I had a couple of opportunities to go to shows, and it's just like, either sometimes when you just don't feel it,
Yeah, totally.
I was just kind of bummed out.
Well, so now that I'm back and staying at my parents' place while I'm prepping for surgery, I was talking to my dad about the fact that, Don't Bring Your Dog, we're setting up shows all the time, and we have a bazillion shows in the near future. It's absurd how many shows we have planned right now, which is crazy. I did not expect to have this. I think for May alone, we have, 6 or 7?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I was talking to him about that, and he was telling me about, before I was born, in the 80s, he and my mom rented a house in Santa Cruz on Church Street, and they used to let bands rent out the garage, and that's part of how they would make their rent, is they would let bands practice in there. And they one of his friends was in one of those bands. It was a band called Dow Chemical, TAO space Chemical, and I wanted to look it up because it's like, oh, my godfather, essentially one of his old bands and stuff like that. And in the process of searching for it, I found this really interesting website that I didn't know existed. It's scum.wikia.com. Scum stands for Santa Cruz Underground Music. Now, this website's pretty outdated. It looks like the last real major update was made probably in 2008. It's been having some upkeep. I was able to kind of dive into the notes of when it was updated, but there's a lot of fascinating information on this website. They have I think there's 1,200 different articles on there, all talking about either bands or shows that have happened or releases by bands or even festivals that have come through Santa Cruz and things like that. It's super interesting. I really recommend people check it out. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, Taylor.
I haven't had a chance to get a real good look at it yet, but just from what you've described to me, I'm kind of curious, but then I'm also also gets me all worried too, because it's just like, what was the last time you said it was updated? Was
so I went to the shows section, because apparently they had a thing talking about upcoming shows, kind of like what we do on the second half of the intro part of the podcast.
Right.
And it looks like that was last updated around 2008.
Yeah. See, I wonder when someone's gonna randomly find this podcast in the future, and the last show we did was 2018.
Yeah,
it's just talking about bands that all don't exist anymore.
Well, so here's the cool thing. I went and scanned through the list of bands they have on there. They have a lot, pretty much spanning the entire alphabet, because that's how it's organized. And I scanned through it, and I recognized maybe 4 of them, or no, a little more than 4, maybe, but less than 10. There's Arsonist Get All the Girls is on here. There's 5150. But I don't even know if that's the current 5150 or some other one.
It's kind of a popular name.
Yeah, well, so this 5150 was from the 80s.
Oh, well, see, there you
its
go.
Members were its members were John Eddy, Ronald Cook, David Eads, and John Forgatch. That's all they have on it. It's just, there's a band in the 80s called 5150. But it's like, you can click on pretty much any random article here, so I'm gonna do one right now.
Well, weren't you telling me something about where you found some bands on there that have the same names as a lot of the bands like our friends are in?
Yeah, so I found Drain. We had Sammy on for episode 2. He's the singer of Drain, kind of a thrash metal band. I saw Drain on this list of bands on Wikiscum. And I was like, oh, look, they're on there. Click. And then they're talking about a totally different band. So it says, I have the article open. Drain was a Santa Cruz band in 1996 involving Shay Davis on vocals and Roger Maynard on drums. Apparently, they had a 6-song demo called Lower Ocean, but I looked and looked and looked, and I cannot find it.
Yeah, you can't really Bandcamp that one, can you?
And I looked up Shay Davis. I looked up Roger Maynard. I got nothing, like... I mean, obviously, I didn't like really scour the internet, but I did.
If anyone finds it, you should
Google
send
search.
it. You should definitely post it to our Facebook page because
I'm super curious.
No, I'm super curious too. Yeah.
But like, there's just so many. There's more that have like actual information. Like, so if you go to kind of like a bigger Santa Cruz band, like The Devil Makes Three was one of them.
Yeah.
They actually have like a pretty, meaty article, enough that's you can glean something from it. I thought this was just a super cool website and wanted more people to go check it out. I'd love to see it kind of revived in a sense of being like, I want people, we know a lot of people in bands. I'd love for them to go on there like, hey, here's my band, submit that. It's a wiki page. Anyone can submit anything. So,
oh man, what if we got it back up and running? Just like start updating
that would
it all
be,
again.
so I did a little more research and I found out it looks like the guy who's in charge of it has a code name King Turtle. So King Turtle, if you're listening, or if anyone knows King Turtle, put us in touch. We wanna get talking.
King Turtle or King Pin.
Oh yeah, something like that. That's a bad joke. I'm probably gonna cut out.
Oh yeah, do it.
But moving on, guys. So that was just a cool thing I found. Other cool things that have happened in this last couple of weeks is the release of Cosmic Reef Temple. I mean, it's a debut album, right?
Finally released it. Yep. No, it sounds insanely good too.
So I've only listened to the first track, which I know is a shame because it's not like super long or anything, but
I mean, it's a 3-track album that's like half hour or so, maybe 4 minutes. I think I can't. I remember looking at it, but now I'm just totally blanking off the top of my head.
I'm pulling it up right now.
But once again, Greg Wilkinson from Earhammer recorded them. I know the guitarist Sam in Cosmic Reef Temple uses Greg from Earhammer like exclusively for all of his bands. And I mean, it's very worth it. His recording style is insanely on point. Like the drums almost sound like a drum machine. Like they sound so clean and so clear. And the saxophone comes through too. Like it was kind of cool to hear John, who's the saxophone player from Cosmic Reef Temple. It was cool to actually hear what he plays because sometimes it gets kind of with all the electrical instruments that they have and stuff like that, and all the amps and the drums and everything. Sometimes, like, the saxophone gets kind of washed out, because I couldn't imagine trying to be a sound guy and do sound for a saxophone,
Yeah.
But either way, on this album, it came out really, really good. And then the artwork, too, is insane. They sent...
it was some Italian artist, right?
Yeah, they had it sent out, and it took... I can't remember how long. It took, like, maybe about a month for him to paint it, I think. Maybe a little bit longer, a little less, give or take. But, it was definitely well worth it. It looks amazing. And it fits the band, like, perfectly.
Yeah, so if you don't know Cosmic Reef Temple, they are a kind of, let's say eclectic as, like, the bare minimum for what to expect from them. I'll read you their Bandcamp tags. Audio Siege, Earhammer, Experimental, Doom Metal, Psychedelic, Saxophone, Space Rock, Surf, Synthesizer. I mean, all those things in one band is kind of nuts.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, it's fast and it's chaotic and it's almost incomprehensible. It all still works, and that's the important thing.
Oh yeah, no, it works. It all comes together, and it's not like I might have talked about this on the podcast before if I'm talking about Cosmic Reef Temple, but I know I pretty much tell it to everyone. It's not like surf and then there's metal parts, It's literally surf and metal combined into one. It's a combination of both of them like flow together. And yeah, just done insanely perfectly. Like it's,
all the musicians are entirely on point. You know, there's no like everyone knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or at least they give the impression of that. I can't speak for them and say they actually do. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely know what they're doing. They're all in a bunch of bands in Santa Cruz as well. So they're all just experienced musicians, just like came together and playing, surf doom. Like,
so if I'm playing the track underneath us right now, so you can get a kind of sense of what it is. But if you want to go listen to the whole album, or even buy it potentially, you can go to cosmicreeftemple.bandcamp.com and check it out there because is it worth it?
Yeah, the album's called Age of the Spaceborne. The song that we are playing right now is Ancient Orbital Dance.
And now for a returning segment, Dead Air, where we talk about bands that are no longer with us. Today's subject is Worse. Now, Taylor knows more about them because he's played shows with them. I've only seen them once. I saw them at a house show here in Santa Cruz, though they are actually from San Francisco. But go ahead and give everyone the breakdown of Worse, Taylor.
So Worse is probably one of the best bands that I've seen play live as far as like energy goes. We played with them back in 2015 at a house show in Santa Cruz. My band More I did, and I listened to their recordings before and thought they were great, but I hadn't seen them play live yet. And but everyone I knew, like Jack in my band Morai and Trevor from Arab Spring, pretty much everyone that I talked to about them had nothing but good things to say. And then as soon as we like added Worse onto the bill, like we kept getting hit up from other people trying to get on the show as well. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, well then now I definitely they have my attention for sure. Got to see what it's all about. And yeah, it did not disappoint. It's fast, it's heavy, it's depressing as fuck lyrics, so it's right up my alley. Peter, the vocalist, has so much energy that he tired me out just watching him play. He was like basically destroying the house, just running around, like, but then also like hopping through this weird little like windowsill thing and like running around the corner. Dude, it was so good. They came out with another band kind of recently that like they kind of got everyone's hopes up because Worse posted like things are happening, so everyone's like, oh, Worse is coming back. And then they put out on their Bandcamp or on their Facebook page that they actually just started a new band called Mercy Rule, and it was same realm, still like the hardcore umbrella, but it was much more like old school kind of punk. Mm-hmm. But it was still good. I definitely enjoy Worse a little bit more, but that's just because of more of my like taste in music.
Sure.
But Mercy Rule, had like this like really old school kind of like heavy hardcore sound kind of thing going on for it. And it was just much more like keeps pace to where like Worse has like drops and like build-ups and stuff like that. As soon as we jumped on, me and Trevor jumped on to try to get a show with them, and it was just instantly like, oh yeah, actually we can't do this band. Like there's just no way. Like Peter's moving to Canada, and like there's just so it was like cool. You just like got everyone like all of our hopes up, released an album, and then just like, yeah, you're never gonna see this live.
Yeah, so they have two releases. There's their self-titled album, so of course, and then also their most recent release that was, I believe, February of 2015. To Be Alive is To Be Alone. You can check out all their music at worsesf.bandcamp.com. And now for the ever-important upcoming show list. May 4th at Sub Rosa Community Space in Santa Cruz, we have Mortality Rate, Drain, Doomsayer, and Jawstruck. This is Mortality Rate's song, Temper.
May 5th at the Blue Lagoon in Santa Cruz, we have The Bad Light, Tremors, Coolsy, and Spoken Nerd. This is Bad Light's song, Arrows.
May 6th at the Appleton Grill in Watsonville, we have Civil Evacuation, Cataleptic Fear, Owl, and Destructive Bastards. This is Civil Evacuation song, Drone Attack.
I'm bringing it back to the end line. Ignite the truck, the ones that got man get back, Galley's attack. Living around the world, coming all the finding flaws every day. Look at the mirror, first the chips are getting sick. That's the fucking watching you. Look at the metal magazine. Act the squad, let the fashion know you're doing something better. I'm the academic, I'm a lot of hate for us. Come on, the second ride, I'm in insecurity. You know you're shouldn't care what they think about your looks. And everywhere you go, it's on the floor line. And there's Hollywood on the side. Hollywood on the side.
May 11th at the Caravan Lounge in San Jose, we have Any Roba, Generation Decline, and Dismayed. This is Generation Decline's song, Hollywood Homicide.
Now for shows from Don't Bring Your Dog. May 6th at Cafe Pergolesi in Santa Cruz, we have Gardens, Dingus, Desire, and Former Mormon. This is Former Mormon's song, Back from the Dead. May 12th at the Blue Lagoon in Santa Cruz, we have Depygus, Body Void, Badmouth, and Orc Cloud. This is Body Void's song, Erased.
I had hoped that the alcohol would act as a kind of talisman, warding off the frightening specter of my slaughtered former life.
May 15th at Cafe Pergolesi, we have Endless Swarm, Concussive, Lugubrious Children, Tired, and ESJ. This is Tired Song in Perfect Being.
May 19th at Cafe Pergolesi, we have Stone Sloth, Disgusted Guys, and Supernaut. This is Stone Sloth's song, Pray to the Credit God.
And that kind of wraps us up for this episode. Upcoming, we have a really great interview with old friend Cooper, a.k.a.
Koopaloop!
Yeah, Coop Loop, a.k.a. Dollar Panel, currently a San Diego resident, but still good Santa Cruz dude.
All the songs are about Santa Cruz, so it works out. It works out.
Yeah. And all the songs are about Santa Cruz, recorded in Portland. But you'll hear it in the interview.
Yeah, what are we telling you this for?
But yeah, so stay tuned for a quick sample of that, and then hear from Coop, man.
Extension, and then Cody brought his little corgi down.
Brought Blue.
Yeah, he
Brought
brought
Blue.
the boy, and then Blue.
What's your dog's name?
Hey, my
Yeah,
yeah. My dog's name is Seamus. He's a 3-month-old Boston
that's a good
Terrier.
name.
Thank you.
That's a good name.
That's a good name.
Yeah. It was. It's really fun to yell when you're drunk and you're like Seamus, and yeah, it's good. It was between that and Bo. You had to go a little different. I got a weird name. I wanted him to have a weird name too.
Well, see, my rule for dogs is it's got to be a good enough name when they get out of the house and start running down the street and you're chasing them that it doesn't sound weird to like scream at the top of your lungs. You know, like you can't be running down the street scream. In my opinion, at least, it sounds weird if like I was running down the street screaming princess really loud.
Sprinkles.
Yeah. Or even like there's like
Seamus is a
lane
good
names
one.
too, like Toby.
Oh no, you don't want to.
Yeah,
go
Toby's a
there.
lame
It's
name.
it's too almost too human sounding.
Sorry to all the Tobys
Yeah.
listening.
I mean, this part's gonna be edited out.
Oh,
we haven't
no.
even
Oh,
started
no.
the interview. This is the pre-roll that goes before the interview, and then I do the
Oh.
introduction, and it makes it feel kind of friendly.
So now
Yeah.
us
Everyone's just,
saying
like,
this is
jumping
when
into the
interview's
conversation.
starting.
Yeah, it's because now I do this. Joining us now is Cooper of Dollar Panel, old friend of myself and Taylor. He's a super cool guy. Say hi, Cooper.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not a whole lot. I mean, to preface this, you're not technically a Santa Cruz musician anymore.
Not
so-
technically, no.
Yeah, but you've played a lot in Santa Cruz. You've been in plenty of different bands and
Yeah,
played
yeah.
lots of music.
But I mean, Skull is
and-
still a Santa Cruz band. I would
Yeah,
say,
Skull
so.
Skull is still a Santa Cruz band.
I've always got
and they're still doing
I've always
things.
got a foot in the door of Santa Cruz. You know, I went to UC
Yeah.
Santa Cruz, and then I lived there for 2 years after, and played in bands, and worked with half of you guys at some point. And yeah, you know, I think once I stuck around for a couple years, then everyone would just be like, "Oh, you're local, it's cool." Like they'd be like, "Oh man, those fucking slugs." Not you, Coop, though. You're cool. I'm like, all right, for sure. Yeah, I think Mowbray was the first one. Like, no, not you though. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. I mean, and to be fair, like I moved there when I was 18. I went home the first summer, and then after that, I mean. When I moved away at 24, it was like my entire adult life had been there. So it really feels more like home in San Diego. Really, I mean, that's where like most of my friends are.
For real. I'm curious, like, if you could give us like a kind of like a brief little summary of like maybe your band history of your time in Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Let's see. Fuck. I guess back in like 2009, I started a street punk band called Peroxide Youth, which I can't even say with a straight face. Yeah, back in the day. And let's see, after that, I played bass in Too Hot, 3 Fast, and then that turned into like Lightweight briefly. And then we started, I was playing a Peroxide Youth show at the fucking, God, what was Ted's Approval House? What was that?
The Fellow Home.
Yeah, the Fellow Home. Yeah, I was at the Fellow Home playing a Peroxide Youth show, and I had to borrow a pick, and the only person around was Cody, and he had a pick, and it's like it's like a Disney movie. Oh, can I borrow a pick? Oh yeah, man. And then we kind of like joked about maybe starting like a power violence band or something, and then he called me up like 2 months later, and he was like, "Hey man, like it's like the summer after I graduated, he's like, hey, I got the band ready." I was like, "The fuck are you talking about?" He's like, no, I got everything. I'm like, all right, what do I play? So you got guitar, man. You got guitar. Like, all right.
That sounds exactly like Cody.
Yeah. So that was Tiger X Woods, which I was not on. I did not go by that name. Like I was not about it. I was like, I don't know. And then after we played a couple shows, then we became Scully because we were drinking a lot and watching a lot of X-Files that summer, or I was at least. And so then we became Scully, and then. I mean, those are like the main bands I played in. I'm sure I'm still part of several projects that never went anywhere. But, that was, and Scully was one of those things where, like, it's more of a support group than a band. Like, whenever Cody and I are just, like, really not feeling life, we're like, hey, wanna play some shows? Yeah, we'll play some shows. So that's why every couple times a year we'll do a couple runoff shows, a couple like mini weekend tour things, and we did some writing when they were down here. Forrest couldn't make it, but we put together some stuff that we can dump him into later. So yeah, I mean,
cool.
Yeah. So we're hoping maybe we'll do some light touring or something this summer. But it's just good, those are great dudes, and honestly, like I really feel like I became myself in Santa Cruz. So big place in my heart for that town.
Nice. I actually have, I don't know how I came into possession of this, but I have a Too Hot, 3 Fast shirt.
Oh man,
that I think I gave to you.
That
you must have,
right.
because
I don't even know where I from.
Yeah, I never caught that band. And I have no, it's like one day it just was a part of my wardrobe.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And I still wear it to this day, even though it's like a size too large.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I randomly caught Too Hot, 3 Fast in Watsonville, like, at just a random show that I just, like, went to.
That's awesome.
It was like, yeah, before I even, like, knew who you were, like, actually really anyone else, because I kind of knew Ethan for a little bit, too.
Oh, yeah.
But that was way before I saw that show, that show, at least.
Oh, yeah. How'd you know Ethan? Just from shows?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. But it wasn't like much more than just like, hey, what's up, man? Like we see each other everywhere, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, so now you've moved on. Like you've moved from Santa Cruz, and that's obviously had an effect on your life.
Yeah.
You produced some newer music that Taylor and I are both really into. We both really like it. It's called Dollar Panel. You can see that at dollarpanel.bandcamp.com. I mean, you can tell us a bit about that too.
Yeah. Let's see. So, I mean, playing all these hardcore bands and shit. I did like a little bit of the screaming and stuff and whatever, but I really just played guitar and. But I always listened to kind of like emo and scrams and all that kind of shit. And so, over the year or so leading up to moving from Santa Cruz, I was kind of like going through some shit or whatever. So I just started writing a lot of acoustic songs that were just really for me, not really never planned to release them necessarily or anything. And then I ended up moving to Portland for the better part of 2015, and I recorded those songs when I was up there, and I had a big, I live in a big house up there with Matt and Corey and all those Santa Cruz folks. And then, between roommates, there was this bedroom upstairs that was just completely empty and had these really amazing acoustics of just, it just sounded really cool. And so I just sat down and recorded those songs just so I would remember them for myself. And then, once I moved to San Diego, I got busy with work and school and didn't really play a lot of shows. And then a couple of months ago, I just came across the recordings trying to relearn the songs, remember them so I could record them. And I listened to those recordings and I was like, shit, I'm not going to do a better job at this. It's just got cool acoustics. I'm not going to be able to recreate this. There's no mixing or anything. I don't know how to do that anyway. So it's just totally acoustics from that room. But yeah, I mean, most of the songs are in some way, shape, or form tied to lyrically. I wrote the lyrics a little later when I was moving up to Portland. So, just life transitions and breakups and band breakups, which are so much worse, and all of those things.
They really do hurt.
Yeah, they do. They hurt the most.
They hurt in a different way.
Yeah.
Well, because it's like you're breaking up with 3 different people at once.
Well, and they're all creative mopey types, just like you. So you're like, oh, fuck.
We're all really gonna be hurting after this.
Yeah, I plan on. I'm gonna have to call and decompress. But yeah, no, I mean it's been cool, and so I just kind of threw it up on Bandcamp a couple months ago. I was like, fuck it, and then people seem to like it, and I'm playing.
What kind of response have you gotten to it? Has anyone else hit you up about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple promoters here hit me up, but mostly pay to play because I just put it out. I was like, no, fucking thanks. But
yeah.
my buddy Reed from college is a promoter in LA, and I'm a huge Off With Their Heads fan. And that guy's doing, he does his acoustic stuff or whatever. So Reed was just like, you'd be perfect for this bill. So I'm going to open up for the acoustic set. It's all acoustic, but Off With Their Heads, the guy from Eric Miles from No Cops for Miles, and then acoustic set from Bad Cop, Bad Cop. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that in LA. I want to say June 6th or thereabouts. But yeah, it's a pretty cool opportunity. And then I got thrown on some blog or something. And so, I mean, really, I pretty much just posted it on my Facebook, Instagram, and put it on Bandcamp. And I didn't really promote it at all. I guess I was kind of shy. I didn't know if people would like it or whatever, but I just wanted to get them off my chest so I could move on, But people seem to like it, and that's cool.
So I was actually just mostly curious about the name.
Yeah. Well, I was just kind of I've always had a bunch of band names kind of laying around, and but I wanted to do something that I knew wasn't already taken, obviously. I mean, there's with Scully, there's some we put that together and made a Facebook page, and there's nothing we could find. But then I guess there's some New York band with the same name, so I wanted to do something that was not generic. And then I didn't even know the word dollar, but I think it was in an I Hate Myself song or something like that. And I just Googled it, and I was like, this word is cool. How can I make some kind of dumb pun about this? And it was just something about ultimate sadness or something. And I was like, I can dig that. So I was just like, solar panel, dollar panel. So, it was just something dumb that I thought would be unique and not taken. So not a whole lot of thought, but big I Hate Myself fan. So.
I mean, those simple stories are really what makes the best ones, in my opinion. I mean, we were sitting around Taylor's parents' backyard it was me, him, and Cody of Scully, and he was the one who came up with our band name, The Dry Spells.
Yeah, because we really just couldn't think of anything. I don't even remember how he thought of it.
Yeah, well, I think it was one of our members was going through a dry spell,
Yeah.
and he just kind of lanched onto that.
Yeah. And we're like,
Sounds
oh,
about
it's
right.
literally the best thing that we could think of as someone else's from a different band's.
Yeah,
name.
whatever.
It's like-
Yeah. Do you have, so other than you have this one kind of big show planned to kind of show off, I guess,
Yeah.
Dollar Panel. Do you have any other like do you want to take it anywhere? Is it or is it just kind of going to be this one and done kind of thing?
I don't. To be honest, I'm just kind of playing it by ear. Like when the Scully boys were down here, we jammed some real kind of twinkly, like snowing meets whatever stuff, and then we threw Cody on the vocals, and it was he does the kind of like orchid thing, so it was really interesting, and Chris and Forrest from Scully have expressed interest in kind of developing Dollar Panel and making it a full band, and I'm not really so we're kind of toying with that idea, but we might just call that something else. But I'm planning to push it just kind of as I can with life, I'm planning on putting out another maybe a full EP or something like that, maybe before the June show, and then I got a couple of weeks off in the summer, so I mean I'm definitely considering setting up some kind of West Coast thing this summer and just kind of seeing where it goes. I don't want to try to get signed or anything like that, obviously, but it's just it's just as long as I need to do it. And I started recording a new song. I'll send that over to you guys actually once we're done.
Ooh, yeah,
with this.
exclusive scoops.
Yeah, I got the
scoop.
scoop.
We have our first one.
Yeah.
Got our first scoop.
It has not been. I think it's been texted to Cody, and I think that's as far as it's gotten. So unless he uploaded it to Tumblr, it should be a world debut. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like you try to get famous, it doesn't happen, and that's not the point of Dollar Panel or anything. So we'll see.
Sure.
But I definitely plan on pushing it, throughout
Okay,
life.
that's cool. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe I'll be back in LA by the time your show is, because I'd love to catch that.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
Well, we should jam too when you're back down.
Oh no, dude, you have no idea. I have such an itch right now to play almost anything. It doesn't matter. I was just talking to Taylor about it the other night. We were talking about, I mean, because like my movement is a little limited right now.
Yeah.
But I can probably stand up and just play a guitar for a while.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm trying. Oh yeah, but I'd be more than interested. But that's besides the point of this interview.
It's Gross's resume out like a minute right now.
And also,
And also, if there's any
Another
bands, any single bands out there need another
Yeah,
guitarist.
Carlos
Yeah, if
is
anyone's listening to this,
looking.
and they want an okay guitar player.
yeah.
Yeah,
Might need a chair for the second half of the set.
Yeah.
yeah. I won't be able to stand for the whole thing, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I mean, Tim, do you have any other questions for him?
I mean, so you were talking about recording, and
Yeah.
I'm actually curious with you guys how you kind of talk about making it into a full band thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see being cool with it as a full band thing, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like when you hear like a stupid henchman song and you hear
Yeah.
the full band version, but then you hear like the acoustic version, it's almost
Yeah.
like better in a way.
Yeah, I know, and that's kind of like, if we jam and it sounds good, then we'll go with that, but I think I'm kind of leaning towards just keeping it as acoustic, it keeps it simpler, I don't have to plan around other people's schedule, and I can just, like, record on my phone and then, fuck with it or whatever, but,
Totally.
basically I just put this out because I was, like, just tired of having to, like, be like, okay, I'll come up to Santa Cruz, or I'll do this, and this, and, all the traveling and stuff. Not that I don't love it and love traveling for Scully, but I was like, damn, I don't want to have to travel like 500 miles every time I want to play a show.
Right, right.
Let's cut it down to 100.
As much as we like seeing you up here, it's just, I totally get it.
At a certain point, that's why it was so cool when they came down here too. It was really good to catch up with them, and the dogs got along, and they were like best friends over the whole week. So that was good. Good stuff.
nice.
Friends.
Oh yeah, but I didn't get anything done. Nothing. It was great.
So, I mean, we mentioned earlier our exclusive scoop, this
Yeah.
new recording. Do you want to like kind of preface it for everyone's going to listen to it?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, no, I can't really make myself write songs. Things have to happen, or I have to just be in that space. So, I had a lot of crazy shit happen beginning of this year, and like I had a couple of people in my life pass away. I had a breakup and shit with like work and school and everything, and everything happens for a reason. But it's just good to put stuff on pen and paper, and this was just kind of about just those things, I guess, just like decompressing. Like all this stuff's just me whining pretty much. But I'm kind of like messing with the production, and I haven't even finished the song, but I like it so far. And yeah, be kind. It's mostly written, so.
Okay. Does it have a name yet?
No, actually.
Okay.
I'll think of one.
Well, so the thing you're going to be listening to at the end of this is going to be the unnamed track off of the mystery EP of Dollar Panel.
Yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know.
we'll actually, everyone, if you're wherever you're listening to this, leave a comment somewhere for a suggestion,
please,
and we'll pick the winner before the next episode airs.
Yeah, and Carlos is looking for a band too. So
yeah, I'm looking for a band.
This is most of the main
name
point of
my songs, but let's get back to the main point of Carlos needs a band.
I mean, here's the thing, Cooper. You
What's the thing?
A short. You produced a short and sweet, I think, really truly wonderful piece of work, and I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
I think a short and sweet interview really fits that. That's kind of what this is, and I like it.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah, it would definitely be cool to see some of the songs like in full band mode, but I think it hits, at least for me, like I was telling you, like, I mean, I still listen to it, but like when you first put it out, I was listening to it for like 2 weeks straight. Like it was my ritual after work driving home kind of thing. And it's like, I think it's still awesome just as far as like, a full band, like powerfulness kind of wise of it, but like there was something about like just like the lo-fi solo kind of recording that like really, as well as the subject matter that like really like just spoke to me in general, that I really just like legitimately enjoyed, because there's like after the work day you're just too done to listen to anything super crazy.
Oh yeah,
so
that's for during
really
the work day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or before, it's like. But by the end of the day, when you're defeated, it's just nice to hear something just calm that like just like directly speaks to you.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like it's just more honest too, in a weird way. When it's just me, it's just like, that was me in an afternoon, getting through shit in Portland.
It's got a vulnerableness to it, like.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, all right, that kind of wraps. I mean, I feel like that kind of puts a nice little bow on it. So yeah, you can find Cooper's work, aka Dollar Panel, at dollarpanel.bandcamp.com. Make sure to go check that out and give it a listen. We have a exclusive new track that's going to be tagged onto the end of this. Remember the contest. Best name gets picked.
Absolutely.
In the comments below. Give it a like and a thumbs up, and I'll smash that like and
Please.
smash his donation page on Bandcamp.
I think pay to play.
I only pay to play, just so everyone knows. Exclusively.
Everyone listening.
If I'm not paying $100 to get there, not including gas, then I won't do it. So, yeah.
Right, well, thank you so much for coming on, Coop. It's always wonderful to chat with you.
Always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you guys again, man.
I'd love
for sure. As always, no jerks.
Respect the space.
And don't bring your dog. Thanks, everybody.
Please don't bring your dog.
After my friends go home for the night, and after she leaves in the morning, and after I stumble to work hungover, I'm still in our old apartment, and I hope for again, just more like home than when we left it. And I'm bored of photographs of all the long nights we spent alone. Ashtrays more than my smile, but that's fine. I haven't missed you in 10 days' time. And I won't call you up and discuss things of regret. It's not the same without you in my bed. And I hope for again, just more like home than when we left it. And I heard of photographs of all the long nights we spent alone.
Intro music provided by Best Buds. They can be found at bestbud.bandcamp.com or by going to their Facebook page, facebook.com/bestxbuds.
Special thanks to Trevor Legg, Bridget Smith, and Sam Hansen for their help with booking for Don't Bring Your Dog Presents.
Want to be on the podcast? Hit us up at facebook.com/dbydpodcast or by emailing us at dbydpodcast@gmail.com.
Want to book a show in Santa Cruz? Hit us up at facebook.com/dbydpresents.